Somebody wants to sit down.
We're going to do things a little different here tonight. I'm calling meeting to order. We can't legally do it by post rules, so. Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made, second, all in favor? Signify.
Aye.
All right, at this time, I'm going to turn the show over to.
The RCCA is going to do the introduction.
Yep. I got it. Oh, and Bill too. Yeah. Quilts of Valor is a nationwide organization. Carol Carr came to me at the cafe one day and said that she wanted to talk about different World War II veterans, Korean War veterans, make sure they were getting their quilts. So we got what we got going here. We got 6 of them that come to regular meetings. I know there's more within the post, and we're going to identify them. But we're here tonight with all the ladies from the Material Girls who make these quilts, and we're going to make sure these guys get their Quilts of Valor. And with that, I'd like to turn the whole meeting over to Karen Demery, who's the Wisconsin coordinator for Quilts of Valor.
Carol and I go way back. And being quilters, you know, you have this network, kind of like you guys all have a network. But I am humbled to stand before you, men and women, who have served our country, performed your duty, and fought for the freedoms we have today. I am eternally grateful for you and thank you for your service and sacrifice. As he said, I'm Karen Demery, I'm the state coordinator. That means I get to put everybody else to work and then I stand up here. I'm also a quilter, so that I've made many quilts. These are all coming from the Material Girls, and it's groups like that that are the lifeblood of Wisconsin Quilts of Valor. We are here to honor 6 very special people, but first I'd like to tell you a little bit about Quilts of Valor if you're not familiar with it. We are a 501c3 non-for-profit organization. Our mission is to cover veterans and military service personnel with healing and comforting quilts called Quilts of Valor. Those of us involved with Quilts of Valor know the story of our founder by heart, but I'd like to share it with you. Catherine Roberts, a midwife and Blue Star mom, founded this organization as a result of her eldest son's deployment to Iraq. She always said she was 10 seconds away from panic, probably like most mothers. I quote Catherine, "This whole thing began with a deployed son and a dream. Literally, a dream. The dream was as vivid as real life. I saw a young man sitting on the side of his bed, hunched over. It was the middle of the night. The permeating feeling was one of utter despair. It was as though I could see his war demons clustered around him, dragging him down into an emotional gutter. Then, as if viewing a movie, the next scene was totally transformative. He was wrapped in a quilt. His whole demeanor changed from one of despair to one of hope and well-being. It was the quilt that made that change. I founded this foundation with the image of a combat warrior struggling with his war demons and not physical wounds. We are one human being reaching out and touching another without judgment, reaching out with acceptance and acknowledgement of their service to our nation in very trying circumstances. We as a foundation will go wherever those who have been touched by war go and are. We don't need high-profile venues to find them. They're in plain sight. Today we recognize and acknowledge the war demons that survived from all wars. Thousands of quilters are hard at work covering warriors from all conflicts, including, but not limited to, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, and the list goes on. Quilts of Valor can be found in every state of the Union, and Canada, United Kingdom, and Australia, although they use a U in Valor. Founded in 2003, it took 3 years to award 100 quilts. By November of 2009, we had 2,500 Quilts of Valor awarded. As of June of 2013, which was our 10-year anniversary, it was 86,812. To date, we have recorded over 134,000 quilts, and that doesn't include the ones that we're awarding tonight. Catherine envisioned this QOV would be our civilian equivalent of a Purple Heart. These quilts would be awarded and not just passed out like magazines and videos. This Quilt of Valor would unequivocally say, thank you for your service, sacrifice, and valor in serving our nation. A Quilt of Valor is not a charity quilt. A Quilt of Valor is not a blanket. That's kind of a dirty word in the quilting circles, but everybody uses it. But it is a quilt consisting of 3 layers. I like to think of them in these terms. The top of its quilt, with its many colors, shapes, and fabrics, represent the communities and the many individuals we are. Each stitch in the quilt represents the love, gratitude, and sometimes the tears of the maker. The batting is the center of the quilt, its warmth. It represents the hope this quilt will bring warmth, comfort, peace, and healing to the individual who receives it. The backing is its strength. It holds the many pieces of the quilt together. It represents the strength of the recipient, his or her family, our communities, and our nation. Quilts of Valor is a volunteer organization. With the exception of our webmaster and our legal advice, no one is paid a salary or receives compensation. From the grassroots volunteers, like the Material Girls, up to our board of directors, who include some very nationally known quilters and other dignitaries, we all use our own money for travel, meals, and promoting of Quilts of Valor. We purchase our own fabric, thread, and batting, and we pay shipping charges as needed. If you aren't a quilter, you may not know the time that it takes to make a Quilt of Valor. It may take up to 3 months to make one before it's ready to be awarded. But a Quilt of Valor is priceless. It can never be bought, it can never be sold or raffled. It is not a birthday or a Christmas gift. It is given freely from the hands and hearts of the makers and their community. A Quilt of Valor is a thank you from all of us for your service and sacrifice. Wisconsin Quilts of Valor awarded almost 600 quilts last year and will easily surpass that number this year. But it's not about us. It's about each of you and your brothers and sisters in arms. A Quilt of Valor is a lifetime award. Each person should be awarded only one Quilt of Valor so that more may be covered. Is there anyone here who has received a Quilt of Valor? Well, we'll get to you all eventually. Okay, tonight it is my honor to award these 6 individuals with their Quilt of Valor on behalf of the Quilts of Valor Foundation, Wisconsin Quilts of Valor, and the Material Girls. Let me, first of all, each quilt comes with, we call it a presentation case. You may recognize it as a pillowcase. What it does is it keeps the quilts confined when we're traveling with them. It also gives you a way to get it home without dropping it in the mud. But it is a pillowcase, so be sure to use it. I have a nephew that every Christmas asks for a new cotton pillowcase that I make because they are wonderful. The citation that will be presented to each of you reads, on behalf of the Quilts of Valor Foundation, in recognition of your service and sacrifice for this nation, it is a privilege to honor and comfort you through the award of this Quilt of Valor. Though we may never know the depth of your sacrifice to protect and defend the United States of America, as a gesture of gratitude from a grateful nation, we award you this Quilt of Valor. So our first recipient, Earl Arndt, served in the U.S. Navy during World War II. He was, if you just want to stand right over here, kind of by that flag.
Right here.
He was stationed at the U.S. Naval Air Station in Guam and Hawaii. This is the quilt You'll get to see it in a minute.
Turn around.
One of these street people.
And we thank you for your service. Here's your certificate and your birthday. You're welcome. Donald Canute, U.S. Army, World War II, 56th Battalion D Corps. He was on Omaha Beach on D-Day.
You fold it up, we'll go right on the floor.
Thank you. This is a complete surprise. I was told it was going to be a quilt representative, but I had no idea as to the background information that you have just mentioned.
Well, there's a whole article out there on you, isn't there?
Yes, I've been a 70-year member here.
Wow. Very nice. Pete Petrick, U.S. Navy, World War II. He served on the USS Chester.
You see over feet?
Look at all those flags on there. Get a hand up? That's all. So thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Gordon Harmon, U.S. Army, Korea, 159th Field Artillery
Get a bigger
Battalion,
bed now.
Headquarters Battalion. Right, headquarters battery. I can't read that.
I can't even.
Richard Lau, U.S. Army, Korea, Field Artillery Battalion. He's not here today? No. Well, let's show his quilt anyhow.
What you should do.
and last but not least, Dale Tremont, U.S. Marine Corps, Korea, 7th Marine, I Company, 1st Marine Division.
I know.
Okay, we would like to get a picture of all 6 of you. If we can get 6 chairs here. We don't want you to.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of them.
I think they just want to quilt. I don't know if they do it. Bring your quilts with you as well. And then materials are all
You're good at that, good for both.
Yeah, she is.
Maybe I'll go back here.
No. You get a kind of a oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
I know it's warm enough.
There you go.
Hey, Tom, hold that That might be mother and daughter.
Look through the ID.
Come on, Joanne, get that camera and come on in. Yes. 3, 4. Depends on which camera. Come on, Joanne.
And now these quilts are meant to be used. You know, don't just hang them on the wall, take your naps under them, okay? It's your excuse.
And we know you take naps.
Several. Well, there's one. I get in there before.
Can we come Dawn?
Thank you. Thank you. Very Thank you.
I got two quick things. I'd like to thank all the ladies. Firstly, Carol. Carol's the one that actually got this thing going. We belong to Cranberry Blossom. Cranberry Blossom Committee, and she talked to me about it, and that's how basically then Bill took it over, and again, thanks so much to Bill. And you want all the,
If there's family that belongs to one of the veterans, if we can get a family picture of you, in here, out there, just get together.
and we're gonna have change of refreshments, yeah. Family members all together with just their significant others here, individual pictures, what they want.
Do you want to come on this way? I will.
What's that? Then you can take that chair and I can go in there and get it right
Want to go out with some cake right away? You can have some cake. One more. Picture. There you go. You're welcome. I think she's just I'm sorry I took He's not pushing one.
Yeah, they want to get your picture with us. You gotta get a picture with me.
Do as you're told, babe.
spread those chairs apart unless you like that together. I will be up tomorrow. I'll talk to Mike.
I'm all back on my feet.
We're the only ones.